My topic is Sichuan earthquake. And this earthquake is occurred in 2008 and May 12th, 2 p.m. And its magnitude is 8. And its magnitude like a power of 251 Hiroshima atom bombs. And like the Taiwan's earthquake, September 21, the sixth this earthquake. And this epicenter means Zhenyang, is in Wenchuan County in Sichuan province. 就是在汶川县. So it means it also called Wenchuan earthquake, 汶川大地震. And its epicenter here. This is Sichuan province and this is Wenchuan County. And it's orangey. Earthquake occurred along the Longmenshan Fault, Longmenshan 断层, a frost structure along the border of the Indo-Australian plate and the Eurasian plate. 就是在龙门山断层就是印澳板块跟欧亚板块的推挤。Thrust 就是 a push power. Yes. 然后 it's another orange. Somebody say reservoir. Yeah, it's another orange because a growing number of American and Chinese scientists they suggest that the calamity was triggered by a 4-year-old reservoir built close to earthquake's geological fault line. This. Because this reservoir built very close to the fault, so somebody said that it's a reason for the earthquake. And this is the picture that the fault. And the epicenter was the mountain of the eastern margin of the 青藏高原 this Qing Tibet Plateau and the northwest this at Chuan Basin, Sichuan 盆地 and this is the fault between these two places, Sichuan 盆地 and 青藏高原. And there are 15 million people live in this place, the affected place, and I'll show you some news video.
There are a few comforts here for the badly hurt, just a sheet of plastic to protect them from the rain. They're left on the road to moan. This woman has back injuries and cannot walk. Remarkably though, no one complains, no one speaks at all. They just wait for hours until the soldiers come and take them away. Most are dazed, confused. Like Gao Shun, he slowly recalls how he received those horrific bruises. I was on a bridge, he told me. I don't know who saved me. This is that bridge. Gao was crossing just as the tremor struck. Along with the concrete and steel, he went crashing to the river below. Everywhere here, the scale of the devastation is sweeping, and amid the rubble, memories of lives before the quake, lives that will never be the same again. The force of the earthquake was so powerful that many homes didn't simply collapse. They were destroyed, smashed into pieces, and in many cases, beneath the pile of wood and brick are the people who once lived here. The focus, say officials, is not on finding the dead, but rather on trying to save the living. But for many of the living, there is only misery. Survivors with nothing and nowhere to go, they huddle together in makeshift tents. It's horrible. There's devastation everywhere. We have no food, this woman says. 13,000 people once lived in this small town, not far from the epicenter of the quake. The local Communist Party secretary, who's been directing the rescue, tells me 3,000 people are still missing. As he shows me the damage to his community, I ask how many have died. He breaks down in tears. Up to 500 have been killed, he says, including his parents, wife, and 2 children. In the midst of his anguish, there's a call over his radio. He's needed again, and goes back to work. John Laws, CNN, Chen Jai-ba.
In Sichuan, over 30% buildings collapsed, and the ecology had been injured very much, especially agriculture. And thousands of initial quakes victims were children, crushed in shoddily built schools. Government officials acknowledged that the most reports since the earthquake that made many school buildings across the country are poorly constructed, and then 20% of primary school in one southern western province may be unsafe. And there is a 19,065 identical school children died. And there are 69,197 are confirmed dead. And there are 374,176 injured. And as a lot of people this as missing, under Chinese law, relatives of the missing people can only register their family members as dead 2 years after they disappeared. And now they have all registered as dead. And about 4.8 million people homeless. And there are a few reasons why the buildings destroyed badly. You can see that in the picture. The earthquake occurred at poor and rural areas, so that buildings there were old and not strong enough. Besides, the construction in China are usually careless, so most buildings were collapsed at the first blow. You can see this. Okay. After the earthquake, 2008 and May 16, rescue group from South Korea, Japan, Singapore, Russia, and Taiwan arrived to join the rescue effort. And many countries sent troops to rescue and contribute some goods and materials like food, clothes, etc. And in addition, around the world, there are many organizations held a lot of donation activities to help those people. And in Taiwan, there are CEF. We also arrived there and offer some medical treatment and the goods and consolation. And I want to introduce especially another organization that did something different from others, Red Cross and Red Crescent. And they have 2 points to help the victims. They have a lot of community infrastructure to help those people to back to a normal life. They have a lot of buildings and construct a lot of infrastructure. And on the other hand, they taught their livelihood training. A significant portion of the reconstruction work is this, livelihood training. The Red Cross and Red Crescent movement. This training helped that victims to they taught they how to feed. Like they taught them to such as pig breeding, growing kiwi fruit, and running a farmhouse restaurant. They taught them how to live. Just teach them some skills so that they can back to normal life quickly. Now I have some information about this. In this year, last month, there has 13 schools joined opening ceremony. And these schools are all destroyed by this earthquake, and now they have recovered and they're open. And this is our CEF organization to help them. Yes, and now, though the earthquake is terrible and we cannot predict any natural disaster, and we just can do whatever to lower the injury and have a complete plan, not only the government, but also us. Thank you.